All right, welcome aboard. Michael, welcome aboard, sir. How are you today? My name's Cameron. If you can put that seatbelt, the lap part just underneath, go underneath it. Perfect. And then if you want to tighten it up, it's right here next to the little buckle. Just pull that strap out. Right here. You're not going to fall out. All right. Jennifer, Michael, do you have any questions on your safety brief? Straightforward? All right. Air vents are here in the ceiling for you. These ones twist open and close. They swivel around. You can point them wherever you need to. Two in the front panel have the levers inside it. That's how you open and close those. There's also a pocket for the two of you right here on the side. This is where the briefing cards are located, which you've been over already as part of the safety briefing. Bags are here for you in case you need them, and also a notepad with a pen if you have any questions for me. Please write it down. I'll also be talking with air traffic control and other pilots throughout the flight. So write it down. That's the best way if you have a question for me. And then, Jennifer, one last thing for you. If you drop anything into this area here, like your cell phone, let me pick it up for you. That's our flight control area. I'd prefer to be the one flying today. All right. Michelle, Steve, how are you guys? Welcome aboard. Seatbelts are fastened. Looks good. Do you have any questions on the safety brief from inside? All right, excellent. And then we also have, is it Nidia? Say it again. A little bit louder. I got some chatter. Nidell and Ariani. Welcome aboard, guys. How are you? All locked in, seatbelts fastened? All right, any questions on the safety brief? All right, I got some air vents for you guys. Right here in a row in the ceiling. These three will twist open and close. This one you can kind of just swirl it around, point it wherever you want to, but it doesn't shut down. There's also two in the two pockets in the back of the chairs here. The pockets have our briefing cards, which you've already been over as part of the safety briefing. A couple bags in there for you, just in case you need them. And there's also a notepad with a pen if you have any questions for me. If you do, just write it down, tap me on the shoulder, okay? All right, any questions so far? Perfect. I'm going to be silent for the first part of the flight. I'll be talking to the tower out there and monitoring traffic as we leave. Is it anybody's first time in a helicopter today? We got a couple hands, all right. So for those that have not been in a helicopter, just think about it like a magic carpet ride. Anytime the helicopter turns, it leans. Lean with it. It's like a bicycle or a motorcycle going around a corner, kind of get pressed into your seat. Winds are really calm right now, so I'm not expecting turbulence. If it does happen, it's over by the mountains, and it just makes the ride more fun anyways. All right? All right, guys. You guys ready? Give me just a few moments here. I'm going to get our clearance. We'll be off the ground here shortly.
But got him at the evil wall, crept up and slipped away with her, yeah. I ain't nothing I can do now. I guess I'll keep on rambling. I'm gonna see myself.
All right, we're lifting up. Right off the ground. Magic carpet ride to the left. And away we go.
Landing to Monday, something's not the same. Blank head, cross paths, sweep the floor. Feel your presence, in your absence, shut the door. Oh, 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 oh. House on fire, leave it all behind you. Oh, 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 oh. Dark as night, let lightning guide you.
All right, how is everybody doing right now? Doing all right? So we're going to enter into our West Maui mountain range. West Maui's are the older of our two mountain ranges on the island of Maui. These are about 2.5 million years old and the highest point just over 5,700 feet tall. If you like to hike, there is an incredible hike. It's over here on the right-hand side. That's the parking lot. You come up this hill. That's pretty brutal, by the way. It's a lot of elevation gain. It's a leg workout for sure. Come up the hill, though, into the trees. When you come out, you're right along the edge of the valley. It is an incredible hike. One of my favorites on the island. It's called the Waihe'e Ridge Trail. And if you take it all the way up to the top, that takes you to this little peak up here where there's an observation deck and a picnic table if you want to bring your lunch. This is Waihe'e Valley. We got some light green trees here all around us. That's our state tree. Those are called kukui trees, and they're on every island out here. You'll see leis made out of kukui nuts. They're usually dark brown, black, or tan. Waihe'e Valley here in front of us, one of the areas where we filmed Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was filmed on 3 different islands. They used Kauai, Oahu, and Maui to create that film. And you can see why they would use this area here. Beautiful valleys here in our West Maui Mountains. No hiking trails in the valleys. This is the only way to see it by helicopter. And this is essentially 2.5 million years worth of erosion. Every time it rains, we're going to lose a little bit more of the island as it gets washed out to sea.
Nobody else. Nobody else. Nobody else can take me higher. Nobody else can take.
The very back wall is known as the Wall of Tears. Water comes right out of the rock. This is the only way to see it. We can't always get back here either. Sometimes the clouds just fill in these valleys. Blocks off the entire passageway. Take a look left-hand side, and then we'll turn for the right here in just a second. Wall of Tears. This is why we are called the Valley Isle. Lots of beautiful valleys in our West Maui mountain range. This is Honokahau Valley. We're going to follow this one out to the ocean. Up ahead we have some flat fields. You can see the bigger one here on the right side of the valley. There's a couple here in front of us as two we're going to be passing over, and also one over here by the shoreline just up ahead on the left. These are all old pineapple fields, and there's actually quite a few of old pineapple fields here on this side of the island. This is the western side. Back in 2008, they basically stopped production on this side when we had the crash in the economy. Stopped production here. Active fields are in our central valley. That's where the Maui gold pineapples are growing now. Golf course is coming up here on our left-hand side. This is Kapalua. Kapalua Golf Course is where we have the Sony PGA Tour. And then that's the Ritz-Carlton, the big beige buildings out there. Nice place to stay, Ritz-Carlton. All right, now we're going to be leaving the Valley Isle behind here in just a few moments. As we leave, take a look at the coastline here all around us. Beautiful, beautiful shades of blue here. Anytime you get that shallow water, you'll get these gemstone colors, aquamarine, sapphire, and turquoise.
Against me.
All right, leaving the Valley Isle behind, we're going to head across the channel to another island. The island in front of us is Molokai. Molokai is known as the Friendly Island, as long as you don't stay too long. Population on the island is about 7,500 people. It's not a lot of people. Miles of beaches out here. There's hardly anybody on them. The entire island has one single traffic light, which I'm told doesn't even work.
Dream of ways to throw it all away.
Now looking out to your left across the channel here, we've got another island out there. That's Lanai. Lanai is our pineapple island. And about 98% of it is owned by Larry Ellison now. Larry Ellison used to be the CEO of Oracle, which is a database company. Larry Ellison is a billionaire with a B, lots of money. He's developing the land. His goal is to double the population with the new developments, and if he's successful in doubling the population, the island is going to reach a whopping 6,000 people.
Twice as good.
Also building a yacht harbor. Next time you're out here, you can bring the yachts out with you.
Like one half could.
So as I was saying earlier before we took off, very, very calm winds today. You can see there's hardly any waves out here. But this is called the Pailolo Channel between Molokai and Maui, and it means crazy fishermen. And that's because it usually gets a lot of wind through this channel picking up those waves. So just imagine for a moment just being in a tiny, tiny boat fishing off the side out in the middle of all this water when the winds start picking up. Those waves will get big, they'll start crashing over the top. Boat starts to fill up, starts to sink, sharks circling around you wanting your fish. Crazy fishermen. Does everybody know how to tell when the sharks are nearby you in the water here? The water will taste salty. Guaranteed sharks are nearby. So if you want to avoid those sharks, don't swim in cloudy water. If they can't see you, they may try to taste you, see if you're something good to eat. We actually don't taste good to sharks, so they'll just spit you back out. But if they do end up tasting you, it's probably going to hurt a little bit. Also, sharks are most active usually during dawn and dusk. Especially want to avoid cloudy water at that time.
Get the hell away from me.
Now before we get to Molokai, if you look over here to the right, we got a little rock looking like a turtle swimming across the ocean with its shell and head popping up.
Better man than me. And how can that be? Just keep me where the light is. Just keep me where the light is.
Alright, so looking like a turtle with the shell, the head, you got a little flipper coming out towards us. So of course they named the rock Elephant Rock. The elephant's actually the big side, and if you look and squint, you might be able to see the elephant. It's not the best angle. The body's laying down, head in the water, and that's actually the trunk that's coming out towards us. Not the best angle for it. We'll see if we can catch it more on the better side on the way back across. Elephant Rock on the right, looking absolutely nothing like an elephant. Getting into our shallow waters, you can see those beautiful shades of blue coming back out. And then out here in front of us is Murphy's Ranch. Murphy's is a grass-fed cattle ranch. They also grow organic produce out here at Murphy's. We have a lot of grass-fed beef here in Hawaii. When the land was cheap, ranchers bought up lots of grassland, and this is one of the grass-fed cattle ranches. It's kind of hard to imagine cheap land in Hawaii nowadays. As we head up into the hills and the mountains here, you can see how green it is. The northeastern side of every island out here is the wettest. That's where you're going to find the majority of your rainforest. Winds usually come from the northeast here in Hawaii. And that brings all that moisture from across the ocean. As that moist air gets pushed up into the mountains higher and higher, it starts cooling down. When it reaches the dew point, we get our rain clouds. So you're going to get the majority of your rain and rainforest on the northeastern side of every island. Every once in a long while, the winds will shift direction. We'll get them from the south. Those are called Kona winds. It doesn't happen too often, though. Back over on Maui on the northeastern side, now that's above Hana along the slopes of Haleakala. We have one of the wettest spots on Earth. We get over 400 inches of rain there a year. Over here on our right, we've got a beautiful little valley called Halava Valley. It was actually hit by a tsunami in 1946. pretty much wiped out the valley. Anybody that was living here at the time that wanted to return has rebuilt since then, but not everybody wanted to come back after that. Anybody living here is living a pretty simple lifestyle. There is no electricity, unless they have a solar panel or a generator. And they're also taro farmers. Taro is kind of like the Hawaiian potato. It's a starch. If you put it into bread, it turns your bread purple. Purple donuts, purple dinner rolls. North side of the island of Molokai is known for their sea cliffs. We have some of the highest and most beautiful sea cliffs in the world here. Little ribbon of water coming down the left side here. These little waterfalls will dry up over time if we don't get enough rain. In the very back is Papala'ua. Papala'ua is a 1,200 foot tall waterfall. It's also the highest one that runs year-round here on Molokai. Always enough rainwater to keep this one going. We usually get at least a little bit of rain every day in the mountains. And then down below us we have more of our kukui trees, also up here on the ridgeline, these lightest green tree that you see out here. That is the state tree. The cliffs in front of us reach over 3,000 feet tall. Right now we're just a little bit above 1,000 feet above the surface of the water below us. We're going to see a valley in just a second here on the left-hand side. It has a black sand beach. Black sand is pulverized lava rock. We do have some people that live out here as well. They live the Robinson Crusoe lifestyle. They live off the land. They hunt their own food, grow their own crops. They fish. They homeschool their children. No electricity out here. Also no roads to get here. This is only accessible by boat or a very long swim or helicopters. We can land anywhere. We're going to turn around here in just a second to get that on the right-hand side. Before we do, if you look straight ahead, we've got a dome-shaped rock and then a peninsula right on the other side of it. That peninsula is Kalapapa, and that is where our leper colony is located here on the island of Molokai. And there are still a few patients out there with leprosy. Just a handful left. There's not too many. Alright, we're going to take a look at our cliffs here for a moment. You can see layers in our lava rock here, and this is how our islands were built. Layer by layer. Built up over time, solidified lava. This whole side of the island came crashing down 2 million years ago. We had earthquakes and tectonic activity, essentially sheared off this entire side, left us with 3,000 foot tall sea cliffs and waterfalls. And here we are back to Wailau Valley with its black sand beach. Anybody living out here is squatting. This is all state-owned land. They don't actually own it. But it's pretty remote out here. The government leaves them alone. No electricity, but no taxes. Here you can really see those layers in the lava rock here, this black lava rock. Let's get one last peek at Pampalua as we pass by. It's going to be on the right-hand side here, all the way in the back. This is our 1,200 foot tall waterfall, Pampalua. Now for wild animals here on our islands, we have pigs, goats, deer, mongooses. Mongooses are long, skinny animals with short legs and long tails. Mongooses like to keep you on your toes and run right across the road in front of you when you're driving. About the size of a weasel or ferret. Over on Maui, we have wild cows. Wild cows. They actually escaped the ranchers some time ago. Now they're out in the rainforest all by themselves. If you go on hikes, just watch out for our crazy feral cows standing around mooing. They're actually hiding from the ranchers, so if you do see any, don't tell on them. Then, of course, we have our wild chickens. You can't miss them unless you close your eyes. They're everywhere. We have hordes of chickens out here. Talk about free range. They think they own the place. Unfortunately for us, the roosters don't know how to tell time, so they're going to crow whenever they feel like it. And that can be all day. Or all night, or both, all day and all night. And for some reason, they really liked the tree outside my front door. All right, we are coming back up to that valley that got hit by the tsunami. It was 1946. The tsunami actually hit all the islands out here. This valley did get hit pretty hard, though. It's pretty low, so it was filled in with water. Lifted up everything, carried it all back out to sea. And of all days for the tsunami to hit, it was April 1st, 1946. Mother Nature's cruel little joke that morning. right, let's see if we can find that elephant. The elephant's going to last for 2 seconds. That's all you get. I'm going to point out some features as we pass by, see if we can see it. We're looking at the back of the elephant right now. Its body's laying down in the water. We have a tail in the water here, closest to us, that runs up the back, and that's going to create the spine of the elephant. The trunk is laid out into the ocean. Here it is. You can start to see that coming into view. And then the top of the head is going to connect with the trunk, creating the bridge of the nose. Here comes the bridge of the nose. This is our elephant. It's going to last for the next 2 seconds, laying down head in the water, and you can even see the mouth there. It changes quickly, though. So here the whole body starts rounding out. The body's going to turn into the shell. That trunk is going to turn into the flipper of the turtle, and then the rock out front becomes the turtle's head. So just like that, we are back to the turtle. So you get 2 seconds as an elephant. The rest of the time you see a turtle, and they decided to name it Elephant Rock, not Turtle Rock. All right, we're going to head back across the Crazy Fisherman Channel, back to Maui. Deepest part of the channel reaches about 850 feet deep. Come out here February and March to see the whales swimming through it. That's the best time to be out here for whales. February and March is when we have the majority of them passing through the islands. Humpback whales get birthed in the warmer waters by the equator, and then they start migrating up to Alaska with their newborn calves. If you're out here when the whales are here, go swimming or snorkeling and get your head underwater to hear them. Just listen, you'll hear them. There's a lot of conversations going on. Pretty impressive. Sound travels a lot further underwater, so you hear everything. Off in the distance, you can see Haleakala out there. That is the third highest mountain in the state of Hawaii. Third highest at 10,023 feet tall. Every mountain range in the state is a shield volcano. Shield volcanoes get their names from the way a warrior's shield would look like if it was laying on a battlefield. You get these nice long mountains, gradually sloping up and then back down. The shape comes from the lava. Here in Hawaii, it's a lot more fluid, so it's going to spread out more before it actually cools down and solidifies. And the liquid nature of the lava allows the gases to escape so they don't get trapped, they don't build up. And then when we do have an eruption, there is no big explosion because of that. So nothing like Mount St. Helens, nothing like Mount Fuji. They say here in Hawaii, even our volcanoes are laid back. Haleakala's last eruption happened around the year 1790. You can actually drive out to the black lava fields. They're on the south side of the island, so you have to go past Kihei, Wailea, and Makena. Stay on that road, you'll pass Big Beach. Big Beach is also known as Makena State Beach. Just take that road until it ends. Once you're there, you're at La Perouse Bay, black lava fields right next to the ocean.
à traverser ma rue.
right, we have Nakalele Point here off our right-hand side. You can drive all the way around the West Maui Mountains if you like. There's a section of road that's only 1 lane wide. However, they have been doing some construction there, so it might be closed down during the week. Usually open on the weekends or in the evenings. That being said, I would not advise going around these mountains at night. Up ahead, we have some sea cliffs. Right behind the taller one here in front of us, there's an area to park. And then you can take a little pathway right up to the top. Great place to take a few pictures with our blue ocean on one side and green mountains on the other. Hiking trails out here. One of those will take you to the park bench. It sits right in between these two little hills, right on the edge of the ocean. And then we have the olivine pools right up ahead here. These are tide pools. A lot of people like to go down there and go swimming. And if you do that, make sure the waves aren't big that day. You don't want to be knocked off your feet or carried out to sea. If you want to get down there, there's an area to park right up ahead here. There's a car there right now. The little pathway will take you right past the sign that says don't go down there. That's how you get down there. Just use your judgment. Don't turn your back on the ocean. We occasionally get big waves unexpected, and they will pop up and knock you off your feet. This is a little village here on our left-hand side, Kahakaloa Village. This is where that 1-lane road winds through. If you decide to go through there, first of all, check your rental car agreement. You're probably not covered. If you decide to go through anyways, make sure you can back up your car really well in case you encounter somebody going the other way. One of you is going to have to back up. Whoever's backing up, make sure they're backing up uphill. Don't back up downhill. If you get momentum and you're too late on the reactions, you can go off the cliffs. Backup cameras are your friend. Take everything nice and slow. All right, coming down the little valley here, we're going to land by the shoreline. And this is all Kahakaloa here in front of us. There's the big rock out there. We'll see a bay once we get out there. We're going to be landing right next to the shoreline. Yep, they are doing construction. You can see they're right there. They're basically building up that back wall. So for the time being, it is blocked off during the day. That's during the week. Weekends, they don't do any work, so that's open during the weekends. One of the last times I drove through this area, there was a car on the side of the road with a flat tire. You can see there's not a lot of room to maneuver. As I'm getting ready to pass it, there was enough room to get by, just barely. I see this huge Cadillac Escalade wind its way down the hill, and he had 2 cars right behind him. I had 2 cars right behind me. We were going the opposite way. So all 6 of us stopped right where that car was on the side of the road. No room to get by. Every one of us had to start backing up, trying to find that littlest spot where we could just pass each other. That's actually the worst thing that's ever happened to me on this road. Alright, so we got this little stone structure right here in front of us. This is actually from the original house that used to be here, that tsunami 1946. Took care of that house. So when it came time to build the next house, they built the one here off our left-hand side, quite a bit ways down, away from the ocean. The people that own the land here do not live here. They rent it out on the weekends so that you can come out here and go camping if you want to. The caretaker lives in the house right here in front of us. So just cooling down the engine, it'll be about 30 seconds. While we're waiting, you can undo your seatbelts.